All right, ready for a deep dive into a traveler's paradise.
Always. Where are we headed this time?
This time, it's St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and you guys sent over some really cool stuff. A traveler's guide, a UNESCO nomination, even a sneak peek at the reopening of this super luxurious Mandarin Oriental.
It sounds right up our alley.
I'm already picturing those picture-perfect beaches, you know.
Of course.
But you know us, always gotta go beyond the surface.
Exactly, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or SVG as I've seen it called, is way more than just a pretty face.
Oh, I believe it.
This UNESCO nomination uses this phrase, cultural seascape.
Ooh, I like that.
Right. It perfectly captures how the island's beauty runs deep. It's like centuries of history, vibrant cultural traditions, and an ecosystem you won't find anywhere else.
Okay, cultural seascape, I'm just stealing that. It's like, yeah, the beaches are amazing, but the land itself tells a story too.
Speaking of stories, SVG is an archipelago of 32 islands, right? Island hopping potential.
Oh yeah. And the names. Just reading through this tourism site, I'm ready to pack my bags. Bequia, did you know that means land of clouds?
No way.
How cool is that?
Very cool.
And then there's Carriacou, the land of reefs.
It's incredible, right? Each of those 32 islands has its own personality, its own history. That's what makes exploring a place like SVG so rewarding, you know?
Right.
Hidden gems around every corner.
Speaking of hidden gems and experiences that just scream, treat yourself, did you see the stuff about the Mandarin Oriental reopening on Canoein Island?
I did, yeah. Private villas, yacht charters, a spa with ocean views.
It all sounds ridiculously lavish.
And Canoein itself is quite the island. It's actually home to the only golf course in the entire Grenadines.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, according to the hotel's website, if golf's not your thing, there's always that hike up Mount Royal. Challenging, but imagine those views from the top.
I can't even imagine.
And of course, no trip to the Grenadines would be complete without some snorkeling. The reefs around Canoein are supposed to be amazing. You might even see sea turtles.
Hold on, stop. Did they know we were doing this deep dive?
What do you mean?
Because, get this, one of the sources calls Canoein the island of tortoises.
Get out!
I know, right?
That's wild.
It's like they planned it.
It really is.
And on that note, we gotta talk about those incredible Tobago Cays. They're this protected marine park, also mentioned on the hotel website, that apparently has some of the best snorkeling in the world.
Oh, I've heard of those. I've heard good things.
This UNESCO nomination actually mentions that four different species of sea turtles nest in the area.
That's amazing. It really shows you the incredible biodiversity of this place.
Right.
But it's not just about what's happening underwater. SVG has a rich and sometimes challenging history, too.
So true. And speaking of challenging histories, this name keeps popping up in the UNESCO document, the Garifuna people. Their story is really fascinating and deeply connected to SVG. Have you heard of them?
Absolutely. The Garifuna people are a testament to resilience. To really understand their connection to SVG, we need to go back a bit. They were actually exiled from these islands, sent to Central America by British forces back in the 18th century.
Wow, exiled! That's intense.
It was a brutal chapter in history.
Yeah.
But despite this forced migration, the Garifuna have held on to their traditions, their connection to their ancestral lands, for centuries. It's really quite incredible.
It's a powerful reminder that even in a place as beautiful as SVG, there are these complex, often painful layers of history. Speaking of uncovering the past, this UNESCO nomination mentions something else that caught my eye: shipwrecks.
Ooh, tell me more.
And not just a handful, we're talking a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot.
Okay, so how many shipwrecks are we talking about here?
Well, get this. Off the coast of Grenada alone, there are over 163 recorded shipwrecks.
Wow, 163. That's like an entire underwater museum.
Right. Imagine the stories those wrecks could tell.
I know, right?
Okay, I have to admit, the history buff in me is freaking out a little bit. I'm already picturing myself diving down, exploring these sunken relics.
It would be amazing.
But I also have to think, what if one of them is a slave ship?
It's a very real possibility.
Yeah.
And a sobering reminder of the complexities of history, even in a place that's seen as paradise.
Yeah, there's definitely more to SVG than meets the eye. So we've established that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is more than just a pretty face.
Definitely.
But I gotta say, those luxurious touches at the Mandarin Oriental on Canoein Island.
Oh, yeah.
Still calling my name.
I bet.
I'm really intrigued by that whole wellness retreat thing they've got going on.
Yeah, it's definitely a trend these days, isn't it? Like, Travelers want more than just relaxation now. They
Right.
want rejuvenation,
Totally.
a chance to reconnect with themselves and prioritize their well-being.
It's very eat, pray, love.
Exactly. And Mandarin Oriental seems to get that, offering those holistic therapies, ocean view treatments. It's all about personalized experiences.
Yes. Speaking of personalized experiences, remember that line from the revised script about having a whole beach to yourself? Sign me up.
Right.
But really, it does seem like they've thought of everything to make their guests feel pampered and de-stressed.
They really do cater to that desire for exclusivity and escape, don't they?
For sure.
And with only 26 suites and 13 villas on the whole property,
Wow.
it promises a level of tranquility and privacy you just don't find at most resorts.
Exactly. And while that secluded luxury sounds amazing, it's important to remember that Canoein is just one island in this incredible archipelago.
Right.
32 islands in total, each with its own unique character and allure.
So much to explore.
I know. Speaking of allure and adventure, how can we not talk about those incredible Tobago Cays?
Oh, yes.
The snorkeling there is supposed to be otherworldly.
It really is something else.
That hotel website specifically mentioned swimming with sea turtles.
Oh, wow.
Which, by the way, I am 100% here for.
Who wouldn't?
Right. And get this. This UNESCO nomination mentions that the Tobago Cays are a nesting ground for four different species of sea turtles.
You're kidding?
Nope.
That's incredible. Talk about an unforgettable experience.
Yeah.
It really highlights how crucial it is to preserve these delicate ecosystems.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes you think about the impact of tourism, right? I mean, it's amazing that we can experience these wonders firsthand.
Yeah.
But it's so important that we do so responsibly.
I completely agree. It's a balance, isn't it? We want to enjoy these beautiful places, but we also have a responsibility to protect them.
Exactly. And that's something to keep in mind as we explore some of the other treasures SVG has to offer. Remember those 163 shipwrecks off the coast of Grenada we talked about?
Oh yeah, how could I forget?
They're not just fascinating relics of the past, they're also a reminder of the impact of human actions on the environment.
That's a really good point. It's like even beneath the surface, history and nature are intertwined.
And speaking of those shipwrecks, that possibility of finding one dating back to the slave trade,
It's a sobering thought.
it really adds another layer to SVG's story, doesn't it? It reminds us that even paradise has a past.
It does. And understanding that past is crucial to appreciating the present.
So true. It's like you said before, St. Vincent and the Grenadines really does have something for everyone.
It really does.
But with so much to see and do, it could be a little overwhelming.
Right. Where do you even begin?
Exactly.
I think it comes down to your travel style.
That's a good point.
Are you dreaming of like a romantic getaway? Or a family adventure? Or maybe a solo trip focused on, exploration and self-discovery?
Yeah.
SVG has it all, but knowing what you're after helps you, craft the perfect experience.
Totally. And it's cool that even the Mandarin Oriental with its whole luxury vibe recognizes that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that part in the revised script where they talk about catering to different types of travelers, couples having private dinners on the beach, families building sandcastles, adventurers setting off to explore hidden coves.
It's all about finding your own little slice of paradise.
Yeah. Exactly. But even beyond those super luxurious offerings, SVG has so much to offer. The local culture, the UNESCO-recognized heritage, those amazing natural wonders. It's about so much more than just checking things off a list,
Absolutely. It's about approaching this destination with a sense of curiosity and openness to new experiences and a willingness to go beyond just the surface.
For sure. So for someone listening to this right now, maybe daydreaming about their own SVG adventure, what would be your biggest piece of advice?
Don't just visit St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Experience it. Engage with the local culture, immerse yourself in the history, and truly appreciate the beauty of its nature. Relax on those pristine beaches, yes, but also take the time to learn about the Garifuna people, maybe explore those ancient shipwrecks, and just try to understand the complex stories woven into the fabric of this incredible island nation.
Beautifully said. The more you know about a place, the more meaningful your experience will be, right?
Exactly. And who knows, you might even discover a hidden gem or two along the way.
Now that's what I call a call to adventure. What about you? Ready to trade in your to-do list for a plane ticket and a sense of wonder?
Always. There's a whole world out there waiting to be discovered.
Couldn't agree more. That's it for this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deeper.